Whether you're building a brand new home or purchasing a resale home, there's no doubt that you've got a ton of ideas in your head about how you want the home to look and the features that you want it to have. So whether you're making changes to a home or designing from a blank canvas, you likely want to select options that make it more comfortable for you and of course increase the value of your home. But you need to be careful because it's super easy to get carried away with your list of needs and wants, as well as spend money on things that don't have a good return on your investment. Now stick around to the end of this video. I'm going to let you know where most people quickly go overboard when upgrading their home. Welcome back everyone. If you just stumbled upon this video and you haven't been to my channel before, my name is Zach and I'm a real estate broker in Fort Myers, Florida. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I do a fair amount of new construction business where I help buyers navigate the process of purchasing and building a brand new home. Now aside from helping them to navigate the contract process and pointing out concerns with the paperwork, I'm often asked which add-ons or upgrades to a new home are worth the extra money. And then with resales, I'm also often asked about, how do I change this or that item and how is it going to affect the value of the client's new home? So in this video, I'm going to help you to navigate your upgrades, whether you're working with a builder at their design center or you're doing it yourself with the help of a local vendor. Now let's start off with 3 of the most popular upgrades that people either already have or they want to add to their homes in Southwest Florida. I don't think any of these are actually going to be a surprise, but the return on the investment just might be. First is the most popular feature that people tend to want in Southwest Florida, which is a swimming pool. Now, it's pretty obvious why, although every so often I do meet clients that don't want a pool for whatever reason, and that's just fine too. But most people want one, especially if they're year-round residents. The surprising thing is that strictly from an economic or ROI standpoint, a swimming pool is a terrible investment. Now in our area, you'll generally get around 65 cents back for every dollar you spend on a brand new pool. So if you put in a brand new pool for $100,000, you're going to increase the dollar value of your home by about $65,000 to $70,000. Now obviously, that's a rough number. There's a lot of different factors in play when it comes to putting a value on a home, but a 65% return is a good estimate. That being said, there's a tremendous value in getting what you want, so don't necessarily let the pool ROI discourage you. I'm going to use myself as an example, and I know I've talked about this in some of my other videos, but when we were home shopping a few years ago, the 2 things that we absolutely had to have, these were the non-negotiable items, were a single-story home and a swimming pool. But then we found the perfect lot. It had an amazing view, and it also had a 2-story home with no pool. So we bought the house and we put in a swimming pool. We knew it wouldn't be a good investment financially, but we wanted that house and we wanted a pool, and that's a value to us. Whether it's a place for your kids or grandkids to have fun, just a spot to relax as a grown-up, there's value in having things that you enjoy doing, things that you love, even if that's not the best dollar-for-dollar return. To take it one step further, there's a lot more homebuyers in our area that want a pool than homebuyers that don't want a pool. So even though the pool itself is a poor financial decision, when it comes time to sell your home, it's going to appeal to a lot more buyers, and it could give you a quicker sale, along with much lower carrying costs since you aren't paying for all those utilities, taxes, insurance, and other expenses while your home sits on the market for a longer time because you don't have a pool. Now this next item is somewhat unique to coastal areas in the southern half of the country, and that's impact windows and doors. Also known as hurricane windows, these are basically extra strong windows that can stand up to winds up to 175 miles per hour, which includes a Category 5 hurricane, as well as the debris that these storms tend to throw around. Impact windows are a wonderful item, especially if you're a seasonal resident or you have a multi-story home. Since most seasonal residents aren't in the area during hurricane season, which runs from June 1st through November 30th, if you have impact windows, you don't need to worry about putting storm shutters up when we have a hurricane. Many communities have limits on how long shutters can be up, but if you have impact windows, you don't need to worry about that at all. Plus, they're much more efficient when it comes to insulating your home, and they provide excellent soundproofing compared to normal windows. If you have a multi-story home, you don't need to worry about climbing up a ladder to put shutters up when a storm's heading your way because I'm pretty sure you're going to have a million other things to deal with. If your home doesn't have impact windows and you want to have the old windows removed and impact windows installed, it's pretty expensive. Look at around $1,600 per window or so, depending on the size of the window. But if you're building a new home, the cost to upgrade your windows will be substantially less. The cost of upgrading the windows for a new construction home compared to going with standard windows is minimal, especially when you're looking at the overall home price. And like I said, it is much cheaper than swapping them out once the home is finished. However, with the current market, there's a backlog for impact windows, so keep in mind that it can slow down the construction of your new home. I just had impact windows installed in my own home. I ordered them in the middle of December. At the time they were ordered, the projected installation was early April because of the backlog, but they didn't actually arrive until late July. So while I highly recommend impact windows, you need to have some flexibility in your timing. As for the return on your investment in impact windows, you should recoup that if you're building a new home, since the upgrade price is minimal. If you're retrofitting an existing home, your break-even point should be pretty close for your average, 2,000 square foot home or so, assuming the rest of the home is in good shape. However, I have found that a lot of folks from up north don't give much thought to storm protection, even though most of them are overly scared of hurricanes. So you really want to make sure your listing agent promotes the upgrade so potential buyers are aware of the benefits. Oftentimes, buyers from up north are going to have a bit of an aha moment when they're first told about impact windows and the convenience compared to storm shutters. One more thing regarding the cost of impact windows, depending on what the home had for storm protection before, you might actually get a discount on your homeowner's insurance as well. Now, when it comes time to sell your home, whether you're thinking of doing that soon or perhaps you just want to remember this for the future, there's a couple of things that will absolutely recoup their cost, both in terms of the money you spend on them, as well as a quicker sale and therefore having lower carrying costs. Now, this is going to sound crazy, but hear me out. The best thing you can do to upgrade an older home is to get a new garage door. I know that's strange out of all the things you can do to a home, but this one item will provide an excellent ROI in terms of dollars that you spend. You may need to plan ahead for this since the door is going to be ordered and installed, but definitely keep it in mind. The next thing you can do to have a good ROI is have good, clean landscaping. Now, you don't need to go and spend thousands of dollars on large palm trees, but by weeding your flower beds and driveway, laying down new mulch, adding flowers that bloom and add color, and of course cutting your grass are all going to add curb appeal. These are all easy landscape projects that can be done yourself, or you can hire a professional for a reasonable cost, and it will pay dividends when you're showing your home to prospective buyers, both in money spent and carrying costs saved. Now, I know I mentioned carrying costs a lot, but they're often overlooked when people are calculating their expenses when it comes time to sell a home. And finally, let's talk about where people tend to go overboard when designing a new home or renovating. Kitchens and bathrooms. Everyone knows that kitchens and bathrooms are two of the main selling points at home. Part of the reason they're so important is because they're extremely expensive. A living room or a bedroom is pretty much made up of paint and flooring, but kitchens and bathrooms have plumbing, electric, lots of tile, countertops, cabinets, and appliances. So the list goes on and on, so it's really easy to spend a lot of money in these rooms. If you're building a new home, you're already going to have brand new everything. And to be honest, most people can't tell the difference between a $1,000 range or an upgraded $1,500 range. Same goes for a fridge, as well as cabinets. Like impact windows, the upgrade prices are minimal for a new construction home, but there's a ton of places where a few extra dollars here and there can quickly snowball into a lot of money. If you're in a resale home and you want to renovate your kitchen, there's things you can do to keep costs down, such as resurfacing the cabinets instead of getting brand new cabinets, or you might be able to leave the cabinets as they are and just replace the hardware, or just add a new countertop, new appliances, something like a new backsplash, which I might add is a pretty easy DIY project. Just watch what you spend in these two rooms because, yes, they're very important, but your costs can quickly get out of hand. I get calls all the time from people who want to move to or around Fort Myers, so please be sure to reach out to me if you're interested in buying or selling a home anywhere in the Fort Myers area. My phone number and email are just down below. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out this one right over here for more great info. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.